I said today I'd be happy or I'd be sad. What do you think I'm feeling like today, nation? Fuck yeah! Woohoo! Way to go, Jets! Got after last night. Man, my season was 1.6 seconds going sideways. Third period, oh baby. Extra attacker. We got the guy on the ice. Cole Perfetti knocks it in with a game winner. I'm sorry, the game tying goal. Heading to overtime. 2 periods in overtime. What do? We win it. Connor Hellebuck saves face. The Jets save pace. We're heading around 2 against the Dallas Stars. What's shaking Ray White in Dallas? Oh, baby. Yeah. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. What's going on, TJ on X? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, man, I don't know what to say today. We got the science behind the perfect hug today. Yeah, we're all hugging. Winnipeg was hugging last night. How long is too long? We're uncovering Stoicism, the ancient philosophy, driving modern issues. Second hour, we got Justin Ahrens joining us, and we also got somebody else joining the second hour as well. We got just stumbling on my words here today. We got Romina joining us in the second hour as well. You guys here hanging out here in the second hour. We're talking AI-driven strategies that actually have soul. We celebrated her last week on Mornings in Lab, the creative spotlight, the community corner. I'm stumbling on my words. It was late night, a big day yesterday. Remember, guys, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about the greatest morning show for men to help you guys get your ass out of bed. And reminder, we are an R-rated experience. If you notice, Marty's here today, so we definitely like to drop some R-rated bombs on the show. So if you got kids in the room, you might want to let them know that Christopher Martin's in the room, and Chris tends to say every now and then he likes to say something that might offend you. So, yes, Roofer, I was waiting to see your words in the comments here today, brother. The roof is on fire. The Jets are on fire. Jimmy, bring the boys in. Let's not hold them back any further. I want to throw some videos on the screen with all the excitement. Johnny, Marty, what is going on, boys?
What's happening, baby?
What's up?
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Jimmy, let's not hold it back any further. Boys, I got to get the energy started last night. My hockey team, Johnny, quick little heads up, best of 7 series. You play 7 games. The team that wins 4 wins the whole series. And last night, it was game 7.
So it's like that for every playoff game.
Yeah.
It's a series for every game.
Exactly. So to win the
okay, gotcha.
Yes, to win the Stanley Cup, there's 16 teams in the playoffs, and it's a best of 7 series for every series to advance, right? So you start with 16.
That's a shitload of games, man.
It is, yes. You actually have to win. It's the hardest championship to win. So Winnipeg versus St. Louis, last night was game 7 in the series. Both teams had won 3 games each. Last night was game 7. My team was a minute and a half left before. So whoever won last night's season was done. Jimmy, can you run the tying clip?
Out of a pile. Velarde back in behind the net. Velarde back for the line. Ehlers moves in, shoots, and he fanned on that. Got it back again. Far side, quick shot, deflected in front. They score! Cole Perfetti with a deflection. 1 point.
The entire season, 1 seconds left, and they tied it up. So now we go to overtime, boys. So now we go to overtime. It's game tied 3-3, and John Marty, and every overtime, just like a period, it's 20 minutes, and then intermission at 20 minutes again. So keep in mind the game's 3 periods. We go to the first overtime. They do not score a goal. They go to the second overtime. We're already into.
So now we're basically what 80 minutes in this thing.
Yeah, we're almost 2 hockey. We're almost 2 hockey games in. We're into the 5th period of hockey. Jimmy, run the overtime goal in Winnipeg last night.
So it must be sudden death. Whoever scored.
Up top, Fleury winds up. Pass at the side of the net for Kyle Connor. Darts around. Connor back toward the line. Pionk walks the line. Wristed through traffic. He scores! Deflected in front by the captain, Adam Lowry. Jets win! Jets win! Jets win! In double overtime tonight!
And keep in mind, guys, it was 2-0 for St. Louis the entire game till the third period. It was 3-1. It was 3-1 with 2.5 minutes left in the game. Winnipeg pulls their goalie to put another player on the ice. You can do that in hockey. You pull your goalie, put another player on the ice. It's 3-1 with 2.5 minutes left in the game. They had a pulled goalie.
Hold on, pull the goalie, meaning they don't have a goalie.
Exactly.
Or they just have a different.
No, you're right.
Literally, it's almost like their back defense line is playing goalie and defense.
Exactly. So they pull the goalie up and replace it with the player. So there's an empty net, and they're down 2 goals. They tied it up with an empty net, and then you guys saw the overtime win. And
well, you got that's putting it on the line right there, baby. It's like the onside kick. You know?
Can I tell you guys? I had my whole monologue, Johnny, Marty. I was ready to tell you guys here. I was ready to say, guys, I'm decided to change the word on losing. Johnny, taking a page from your book. We're no longer calling it losing. We're calling it learning. Because I was ready to flip the script on why my team lost last night.
Yeah, brother.
Learning, right? We don't lose, we learn. And I kept telling you last night, go, okay, I have the words I'm ready to throw on the table today. We didn't lose, we learned, right?
That's it. You never, if you're losing, it's because you fucking quit.
Yes, exactly right. Exactly right. So that was my excitement, but it did start off. I knocked on. It did start off yesterday. My little girl Brookie had her first communion yesterday, boys. So she did her first communion yesterday, which is a pretty big moment in her life personally, which was pretty awesome, pretty exciting for that big family event. And then, of course, Piper had her big dance recital, and then I had my Jets game. So, guys, my energy and my emotion
day yesterday
off the table. Yeah. How are you guys? I got to stop talking. How are you guys? Marty, starting with you, bro. How are you, pal?
Yeah,
good,
more
man.
fuck. It seems like you're like a distant relative now. What you been doing, brother?
I ain't been nothing different, man. Shit, you gotta get to Virginia to beat that traffic.
Paying the bills with his clients that are shifting his schedule. Keith, my client's running a little late today. All right, Mark, no problem, brother.
Yeah,
and I can see your eyes rolling in your head going, oh, man. Right?
Man, gotta eat, baby. And then, so that's it.
Well, you know, Mark, what you're doing is right now you're going through that phase where you're just getting a taste of what most people have to do, that you're like, you know what, this commuting thing is not for me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Crazy. Yeah.
So you get a little taste of that, and it makes it real easy to find your next step, you know, in terms of, you know, doing what you want to do and not have to deal with that traffic. I'll tell you, I don't want to say thank my lucky stars, more of a saying, because I created that shit, but God damn it, man. The idea of, like, I've had to sit in traffic a few times. I go to a doctor's appointment, like, what the fuck are all these people doing out here? Mad as hell, you know?
I gotta go out of my way to stay super positive.
That's
man,
it.
You know?
Yeah,
That's
bro. Yeah.
So, Johnny, tell Marty and I about Cinco de Mayo. How was Cinco de Mayo yesterday or the weekend? Yesterday, where you guys were at?
It's still shit. It's still going, actually.
It's a long weekend, right? It's going to go today too, right? Is it not?
Yeah, I think my guess is it'll probably simmer down a little bit. So I didn't realize there was actually a motorcycle run called the Diablo Run. I guess it happens every 2 years.
Okay.
So this was a year that happened. So, dude, you've never seen. I've never seen. Maybe you have. So many. I mean, just the whole. It's the Malecon, they call it. It's basically like a strip right there on the water.
Yeah.
Dude, that thing was completely. They had to close it off. There was just too many bikes down there. It was pretty crazy.
Like Sturgis, I imagine, like Sturgis, right? Sturgis, South Dakota, there when they have those big bike racks here.
Oh yeah, dude. It's like all you could smell was rubber, because somebody's freaking just sitting there lighting up the tire, just burning that thing up till it blows, you know. It was fun.
Until Johnny walks by dropping some gas from the pocket meat.
You know, in that environment, I don't think they would have had a fucking clue.
In that environment, because everybody else is passing equal amounts of pocket gas there.
It's just, you're talking the smell of booze. You're talking the smell of rubber. You're talking the smell of dudes who have been riding for days that probably haven't showered. You know, you're talking, it was a rough and tumble group, but they were cool as hell. Cool. That's awesome. Good morning, Jay, in the comments. I see you, brother. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning. Good morning, Mike McQuillan, fit presenter. I started watching hockey during the Isles drive for 5. Ironically, Gretzky was the one who turned me off to hockey. Can I even say that on a Canadian hosted show? Yes, you can. I'll tell you what's really cool, boys, is obviously many of our listeners and people tune into the show know I'm a Jets fan. So last night, guys, on LinkedIn and all the social channels, my shit was just lighting up. People coming out of the blue, sending me texts on LinkedIn, and it was actually pretty hilarious. So I appreciate all the support, guys. Roof and Howard, what's going on? Howard, good to see you here this morning. Jay, TJ, fit presenter. Marty, I got something for you, pal. I got something for you. I got something specifically for you. Johnny and Keith have something for Marty this morning. Johnny doesn't even know. Yeah. This is new to me too, brother. I have no fucking clue what he's talking about. So, Johnny, I'm thinking that sometimes Marty might want to pull the old dating app. Marty wants to pull out the dating app. I'm wondering. I'm gonna say right now, I think that Marty likes to go out and he likes to good old fashioned hunt his prey.
I think
I'm old school.
I think he does too, actually. Well, the young men that like to pull out the dating app might be curious to know that women are using AI using AI, ChatGPT, Marty, for height verification. Because women want to make sure that the man, John and Marty, are the right height before they go out and date him.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, that just sums it up. You know, fucking someone using a fucking dating app lying about fucking height. Jesus Christ.
So height significantly
Keith, you would have been shit out of luck in your days.
Dude, it makes no fucking sense. It's like telling a lie that you know you're going to get fucking caught for. It's like,
exactly.
Did I not show you?
Oh, that was a typo. 6'5". I must have typoed. I'm actually 5'5".
Marty, didn't I show you the little ladder I carries around with me? So I guess I didn't. I used to carry a little ladder with me. I'd carry a little ladder with me everywhere, and I'd fold it out. That's how I'd walk around. I'd get up the little heights. But listen, height significantly impacts dating success. Studies indicate that many women filter matches for men that are 6 feet or taller, despite this height representing only about 6% of men. Yeah, so think about that. So guys want to,
surprised, man.
No, interestingly enough, so the dating app Bumble reports that height is becoming less important to over 30% of users, suggesting that the attitude might be shifting. However, this fixation on height, presents men with a challenge of either exaggerating their height, finding lift, for surgery. Guys, I found an interesting article. I got on the table, I think later this week or next week. There has been a substantial increase, and this makes me really sad, and I think it's going to make you boys very sad too. There's been, I think, about a 30% increase in men getting leg extensions because they're caught up with. I know. So you know what happens? Hold on, guys. Before you comment. They break their femur. They break their leg.
Oh, dude, I know the process. It's fucking brutal. It's like one of the most painful things a person can go through. I mean, I heard about this way back when. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a fucking, I don't know, but I was like, it caught my attention. Like, what?
Yeah.
And I looked into it. It was like the most grueling thing ever because they're stretching bones.
Yes. It makes me sad. It makes my heart sad. Like, Marty, when you hear that, what do you think, brother?
I think it's just you're desperate, man. What is
dude? You say make you sad? How about fucking go to the gym? How about do some shit that fucking makes you feel good about yourself, so you don't have to put yourself in these goofy fucking stretchers to feel better?
Yeah, no. So John,
take some affirmative people that are doing that stuff. Listen, when it comes down to it, we all have to do things that make us feel good about us. And if you're doing enough of those things, you don't fucking find yourself doing dumb shit like stretching out your femurs.
No, what I mean by sad, Johnny, is that it makes me sad that somebody in their journey of life has unfortunately not been able to find a space where they don't have to end up down that path. Right. So for whatever reason is where my empathy comes from, because I'm with you. Right. So it's like, what can I do? What can you do? What can we do to support a human that doesn't have to go down that path? But to have somebody consistently wake up, look in the mirror and beat themselves up. I know somebody who really struggles with their height, like considerably, like big time mentally. It really, and you look at them and you're like, yeah, but like there's.
But you know what? You never get rid of that.
Well, I know.
It's like, I'm not. When I say this about myself, I'm not trying to compare myself to somebody that has such an issue that they're stretching out their legs. But fuck, you see what I look like. I will always be the fat little boy in my own mind. Always.
Yes.
And I realize that. I realize it's a fucking blessing, and I fucking move forward with my life with this huge blessing. It's about spinning this shit around. So yes, you're short. You're fucking short. Yes. What is it what's the blessing of being short? Have you spent time discovering that? Or have you spent time fucking bitching because the girls that don't like you because you're short, they don't like you because you're a little fucking bitch, not because you're short. I know some dudes that are short that are fucking savages, and they got fucking chicks that are a foot taller than them, and they're all over them.
Marty?
I absolutely agree.
Vinny Panzienza. You remember that boxer?
Yes.
Yeah, he actually, I was dating this chick. We broke up. She went and was dating Vinny. That guy was probably 5'4", but he was a little fucking stud, little savage, just an animal. You know, broke his neck and came back to boxing. And the funny part was, she wasn't the only one that this, you know, she was like one of many beautiful women, all taller than him. Nobody gave a shit about his height. He was 10 feet tall the way he carried himself.
I think the difference is, though, John, is and this is great discussion, guys, is that you have found yourself in your journey, recognizing that I'm always going to be this fat son of a bitch who's going to stare in the pantry, the fridge, and you know the discipline and habits that you've had to associate to success in your life and structure in your life. And Marty, you as well, and those and many of us have. But some folks still haven't found that. So when I suggest my empathy is along the lines of, it makes me sad that somebody hasn't found what you have, Johnny, or what you have.
And I would agree with that, but I would want to know that they've spent substantial energy trying.
I agree with you there. 100%.
Because so many people, they fall in that fucking poor me thing and they haven't even fucking given it a go.
Well, so that's what I agree. Yes, that I agree. Like, don't just rush to surgery. And again, have you tried everything possible? Because it does make me sad that you're putting yourself through all that. And let's
compare it to people with gastric bypass.
Yeah,
these people are not fucking investing in themselves. They're not trying. They're not reading.
No.
They're not waking up before they need to. They're doing the minimum in their fucking lives, and sometimes less than that. And then they fucking wonder why their life is the way it is. Yes. And they blame it all on being fat, and they think that getting their stomach stapled is going to make it better when they haven't changed anything. And I think it's like 80% go right back to being where they started because none of their habits changed. No. So the legs get stretched. You're a few inches taller. Nobody really fucking knows. And all you did was go through all that fucking pain and anguish, and nothing has changed.
Let's flip a script here. This is good. This is great. Let's flip a script. No one knows that you go for Botox in your forehead, but it makes you feel good.
I mean, you could argue that. Yes, I can't say that it really makes me feel good. I mean, yeah, it does make me feel good, but I think it's also part of like if I wasn't feel like a fucking dipshit for saying this, but if I wasn't a public figure, I probably wouldn't fucking do it.
That's fair. Great conversation, guys. Like I said, I think. What's that, Johnny? Marty?
No, I said it's a good convo for sure.
It is because it says, because I would liken it to this way too, Johnny, to your comment of nothing changes. It's like we talked about this before. Is that okay? So I'm going to race to make a bunch of money, and then on Friday I cash my check for millions of dollars, but on Monday I still wake up lost.
Dude, 100%.
Same 100%. Thing. Oh, I haven't sat. It's like Friday I went for surgery. Monday I woke up and nothing's been fixed in my head mentally, and that I think is what we're talking about. Is that
100%?
If we're making these big decisions, it's what's happening upstairs here to help ourselves through some of these things, right? So,
well, let me give you another example. That's not me. The client that I have, has fucking phenomenal shape. I mean, I'm going to be very discreet because if I talk too much about this guy, it's very fucking easy to figure out who he is. But I mean, he's an older dude and he's in fucking great shape, and people are blown away when they see him, right? And anyway, he has a hernia in his stomach, right? I got two of them, so I have the exact same thing. When I do a sit up, it looks like a little fucking thing jumps up on my stomach like this. It's the weak part of my abdominal wall. I have two of them.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, so he was really bothered by this. He's like, I'm going to go have this surgery. I'm going to have it fixed. You know, they go and they put screen in there and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right. And I said, dude, go ahead. But I said, just understand, you've had this for a long time. You're not going to see yourself any differently. I said, I hope I'm wrong. I said, but just be prepared. You could go through this surgery. You could go through all the rehab. You could do all the shit that they tell you to do. And you're not going to see anything different. Wow. That's exactly what fucking happened. He didn't see. I mean, he's still terribly unhappy. So what we did is we started fucking working on the mind, the mental positioning of it.
Yes.
Now he's starting to realize that, hey, you know what? When I walk in a room, people are fucking flipped out about my shoulders and the fucking veins running out my arms. They're not looking at my stomach. Because
Yes.
he walks in the room, oh my God, everybody sees that little bump coming out of my shirt.
Yes.
No, they don't.
Yes.
No, they don't. They're fucking flipping out at the rest of you.
Yeah. But I applaud that approach, Johnny, because you're working on it up here. And I think what we're really talking about is our own insecurities, right? That's what we're talking about. Is that what are the insecurities that are preventing us from mentally perhaps moving forward? Marty, I'm sure you have yours. Johnny, me, like we all, I see myself.
Our insecurities are the biggest fucking powers that we have.
Yes.
They are energy. They're drivers.
Yeah.
When you fucking harness that shit, you
Yep.
can do it. That shit makes you uncomfortable. When you're uncomfortable, you do things you would never do when you're comfortable.
True.
So for all you out there fucking bitching and moaning about your insecurities, thank the fucking Lord above that you got them, because those are your powerhouses.
It's interesting, Marty. I know you're a big superhero guy like I am, Marvel and DC. It's almost like an insecurity is like a human superpower, because when you can harness that mentally, it actually sets you apart instead of the opposite. And we don't talk about it often, but there's some truth to that.
Yeah, it's definitely some truth,
100%.
man.
Go ahead, Mark.
Look at every superhero. They got something that they're not proud of.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So it's
100%.
just part of the game, man. And like one of my clients, she said something about I took my son to the doctor and the doctor said he's going to be 6'2". I feel bad for him. I was like, what are you talking about?
Why?
Because she wants him to be like 6'5" or 6'6" to be an athlete. I'm like, that's not a knock on it. I say he could still be a successful man and he could still be a great athlete. Like, what are you talking about? You know?
That's
I
funny.
feel bad for him. It sounds like she had his future laid out for him.
Yeah.
What she wanted,
Yeah, just totally focused on the wrong stuff. And another one of my clients said she has 2 sons. They're both short, and they're real discouraged about dating. So I told her to have the sons come talk to me.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
On that level, real quick, there's so few fucking young people that are not discouraged about dating. Fuck.
That's
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a small percentage of fucking teenagers that are like, fuck, man, I got this program rigged. Everybody's shitting in their pants.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Listen, in many ways, my insecurities drove me to who I am. My insecurities drove me to the gym, Johnny. Your insecurities drove you to the gym. Yeah. And I don't frown upon that. Those insecurities created good habits for me.
Yes.
Bad habits too, but those insecurities have made me the person that I am, and I've learned to embrace them. I know I got bad teeth, but they're my teeth. So they are what they are. I know.
Hold on. Who says they're bad?
Well, that's exactly my point, Johnny. That's exactly right. So it's my own. So that's my point, is that it's my own perception, right? But do you see me crying on it? I'm in the front of the camera every fucking day. Do you think
every day?
This is who I am. Like, it's who I am.
That's it.
You don't like me? Go tune somebody else in, right? You want somebody else? Go tune somebody else in. What are you thinking, Marty?
I agree with you, Keith.
Marty, it wouldn't be the same if he sat there and said, can I be vulnerable? And he had veneers on his teeth. It just wouldn't work, would it?
It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. Like, look at this guy, fake ass guy, fake ass Canadian guy.
I'm going to go get some. What do you call those things? Rappers wear, Marty? Grills. I'm going to get some gold grills for you guys.
Please don't. You're good. We're cool with the Gap. We love the Gap.
We love the Gap. Hey, the Gap's been my signature my whole life. It's not going anywhere, man. The Gap is part of who I am.
There we go.
The Gap is part of who I am. All right, Jimmy.
Look at fucking Arnold.
Yeah, there you go. I agree. Yeah,
come on, man.
Yeah, that's exactly. I knew today's show was gonna. I just had a feeling today's show was gonna be like this.
I got that pretty good, don't I, Mark?
You too, God.
You got that.
Oh my God. Success is heavy. Yeah. Success is really heavy. Isn't it, Jimmy? Are you willing to carry it? Imagine. Whew, I'm sweating today, man. I did my run before the show, and I'm actually wearing shorts today. You guys can't see my little legs. Yeah, my 6-foot legs sticking out of my shorts. Imagine it's a year from now and you got what you worked for. The name, the money, the recognition. But you got some insecurities. You got bad teeth. Your legs are too short. Maybe you look in the mirror and you feel like your junk is too small. Well, suddenly you think to yourself, it's harder to slow down, harder to focus, harder to move forward without something slipping. Your patience, your edge, your grip, because every win adds weight. More eyes on you, more expectations, more risk when you fall. And no one's coming to lighten the load. Nope. There's no off switch, no secret system, no easy out. Well, here's the thing. Too often we wait until something snaps. I know I did. And before you know it, your body gets sick, your family checks out, your business suffers the consequences. That's when you find out what kind of foundation you've really got. Baby. Yeah, success, is it worth it? But the world sells you a fairy tale. The reality, what's the reality? Success costs something, always. So before you chase it, get honest with yourself. Are you willing to carry the weight of success like my hockey team last night? Because there's no right or wrong answer, only a choice. Only a choice, just like our choice this morning. Hit the snooze, don't hit the snooze. Go for surgery, don't go for surgery. Yeah, go look in the mirror, don't go look in the mirror. There you go. Lady Drew, I see you there. Lady Drew, one of the biggest fans of Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends, always showing up. Lady Drew, I appreciate you. I appreciate you hanging out with us. I appreciate all your engagement. Your engagement is what makes this show what it is. Bring people into this thing. And very much appreciate that. Matthew Roof, I appreciate you, brother. Holroyd, yes. Superpowers make us stronger, make us better. All right, we're going to bring it back here, guys. And I think I'm going to do here, Jimmy. I think I want to redirect our Scott Benzie. What's going on, brother? I haven't seen you in a while. Say hi or don't say hi. Oh, I'm saying hi. Benzie. Good to see you, pal. Good to see you. How you feeling, buddy? Guys, I want to take the conversation to our deep dive. I want to talk about changing careers and what that's like, and some of the changes I've made, and I know Johnny has made them in his life, and Marty, and I think this is something that's a good discussion to have here, guys, because we go through life, and I was raised in an era like Johnny, which was, hey, you go pick one job and you stay with it forever. And I know that's not the world we live in now, but we still wake up in our 30s, 40s, and 50s going, okay, I need to make a career change, but I don't know how.
Thank fucking God I broke those rules. Jesus.
Right. And then some people wake up going, fuck, I don't know how to do it. I want to do it. I'm stuck. And there's this whole fear of, I took a risk and I'm changing careers, and here's some advice. So take the words that I'm going to throw on the table, with Marty and Johnny, and on what it might feel like changing careers. Let's get after it. So, I'll start it off here before I throw it to the two boys here. When I came back to do this, I literally left what I did yesterday, which is the whole social media industry. When I came back into the world, I started out in the AR, VR tech world, and I left the complete industry, left all my contacts, left my network, and I started from scratch. No regrets, frankly. And then I made a pivot to doing what we're doing right now, which is a brand new morning show media type company, but leaving my entire network. And I think for me, to kind of capsulate it, just to start the conversation, for me, the biggest bit of advice would be when you're starting from scratch, you got to start talking to people. Network, and build a brand new network. So I'd start with that. But Johnny, and Marty, let's start from the beginning with you guys. And John, starting with you. So when you started with career number one, and then you're like, okay, I need to make a change. And then you made a change again. How did you arrive in your head about making a change from going from one career to the other? Did you think that you were all done with one? You're all like, you achieved what you could achieve? I don't want to use the word the corporate ladder because you've never played that game, but did you feel like you had nothing more to accomplish before you decided to change careers? Jon Andersen.
Well, if we're talking about like right out of college, I was getting out of the gate with business. It was really fucking simple. It's like, okay, this didn't work. I need to try something different. So it was like, but that was before I found success. Then once I found success, then of course I'm always looking for, like the first really successful venture I had business-wise was I basically started a painting company, built it up and sold it. So really? I had no intent. What's that?
Well, I didn't know that. Is that right? Really good for you.
Yeah. Because I learned a skill in college. I used to make a grip. I would go door to door. Hey, I'll paint your house for $1,500. I could hire a buddy to do most of the work. I get the paint for a couple $100. I'd make $800 to $1,000 every house. So it was like, anyway, that was during college. So after college, I tried a few things, failed. I was like, okay, I'm getting real hungry here. I better go back to start a business that I know I can be successful with. So I went back to that. no interest in in painting or a painting company. I was interested in eating. So I need to have a fucking plan here. I need to, I
wasn't interested in the painting company. I was interested in eating.
I was hungry, man. Fuck. I was literally at that point, I would go to a grocery store. I'd go to a different fucking grocery store. Like breakfast, I'd go to the Safeway across from my house. I'd walk around and I would fucking eat. I wouldn't take anything out of the store unless it was in my stomach. Lunch, I'd go to a different one. That's how fucking broke and hungry I was, dude.
Jesus.
The money that I had needed to go into fucking gas.
Yeah.
For me to continue to try to progress. And a little fucking car without a second gear. So I wasn't going any place with a hill. You had to kind of map out where you were going. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so what I'm getting at is that to answer your question, once that venture was okay, I'm not going to be doing this for fucking 30 years. I need to get this thing built up and sell this bitch as fast as I can. Then from there, okay, now I got a bunch of cake. My athletic career started off. Real estate was a huge opportunity at the time, so I started fucking flipping homes, right? Then that whole thing dried up. So I'm always been, of course, athletically it's a different story, but I mean, with business, it's always been kind of looking for the things that are opportunities, the things that I semi wanted to do, because at that point I was still kind of chasing the dollar,
Yes. Marty, I know you got to rock and roll here soon, pal. I want to get to the fit tip with you before we do that. I want to lean into career changing with you and your journey and deciding on how to switch, especially right now, right? I know as you continue to move your career forward, and what kind of emotions do you have, or what kind of thoughts do you have in your mind as you go about, approaching our career change and switching careers?
Kind of like Johnny, man. I want to eat. So it's like,
yes,
I'm not going to the grocery store and eating groceries in the grocery store though, but and it's been training for me. I've tried to make a few moves that didn't work out. I had a big move on the way. I had a couple big moves on the way until the pandemic hit.
Yes,
and it kind of ruined that, and that's kind of how I found myself coming back here from Cali and getting back into training, and it's just been what's working for me ever since.
The risk is really just, I think the biggest thing that prevents people from moving forward is the risk of not being able to pay the bills. That's really what it comes down to. So when you say to somebody, just jump off the bridge.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's easier to say. It's easier said than done often, isn't it? And what kind of advice do you have for somebody, Johnny?
Oh, fuck. I got a great answer for this.
Yeah.
You're stuck doing what you don't want to do. I get it. I was stuck doing what I didn't want to do with fucking painting too. So you basically, all you're going to need to do is you're going to find the time that you're wasting. I don't have time. Let's be straight. Average people are too busy. Elite people make the time. They find the time. You're wasting time. You just got to find it. Gather that time. Maybe it's just an hour a day. Invest that hour a day into your side hustle. Yes. And if you're consistent with this, that side hustle will eclipse your normal job, and you have forever changed your life. And I cannot tell you how many fucking people I've helped do this.
Yeah. I love the confidence in that response, because I don't want to oversimplify it, but it actually is that simple. And it's like, and I know, because people like, oh yeah, you can make that statement because you have a little money. No, it's actually, don't hit the snooze button, find the next hour on your stuff, and start being structured. It might not happen overnight, might not happen over a week, might not happen over a month, but you keep doing it relentlessly, it's going to happen. And Matthew Roof, where's Marty now? Marty's in Maryland. Roof is out.
And I just wanted to add in there real quick, man. Like when I'm talking to people I'm close to, friends, family, or whatever, and I tell them like what my day looks like, they're like, "How do you do all of that in a day?"
Yes.
And I'm sure y'all too can relate. So
yes,
it's you can get done. I even had to take some time off the show, at least the time I spent on the show. But it's because I'm grinding. It ain't because I'm just like lazy bullshitting. So that's real life proof right here of what Johnny was just talking about.
And brother, not to say anything about the people that are saying that to you, but the odds are they probably live a fairly inside the box, following the rules of society type life. So they think that it's a lot. They think it's difficult only because society and the rules of society have taught them that that's too much or that's difficult.
Yeah. Fit presenter. I once dated a girl whose father worked for the railroad and retired at 49. And I said, that's ironic. I'll be starting my career at 49. Yeah. True story, Mike. Well, and how many times we change careers, right? Man, it's just the world's different. It's funny because I heard President Trump talking that, as America brings the great factories back to work and Lutnick saying that families will be able to go work from the factories forever, fathers and sons and daughters and mothers and grandparents, and we all go get the factory job. Yeah. I don't know if that's kind of the future, but whatever you got to do to make yourself happy. Good morning. Good time. Good to see you there, pal. Marty, let's do the fit tip and let's get you out of here. Okay, pal?
Let's get it, man.
Let's do it. All right, Jimmy, let's do it.
Come on, Jimmy. You're sleeping at the wheel, babe. Let's go.
Jimmy's got
Jimmy, what's going on, man? Come on, brother. All right, we got the fitness tip for today.
I guess we're hanging out with you, bud. Get it.
Programming and doing your training splits. All right, what is your programming and training splits? Pretty much that is how you map out your workouts and map out your days of the week you decide to work out, okay? A lot of times we see Jim Bro on Instagram, a fitness influencer, John from the gym up the street, Bob from the other gym up the other street, right? And what I'm here to tell you is that's fine to listen to people, hear what they do, and give it a try. But listen, you have to implement what works for you and what works for your schedule, right? So right now your schedule might allow you to work out 3 days or 4 days a week, but you listening to John up the street at the gym, maybe let me use another name, Tom up the street at the gym, right? He's telling you to do 6 days a week, but that's not realistic for you. And a lot of people will be like, oh, well, I can't do 6 days. I'm not going as hard. And, you might start feeling bad, but that's not technically the case, all right? So what you need to pay attention to is when you do go to the workout those 3 or 4 days, you need to have an effective workout. I recommend compound lifting, and if you can get some cardio in there after the lift, do that. And you need to lock in on your nutrition. Lean protein, vegetables, carbs, healthy fats, shit ton of water. All right? So your training split is pretty much based on your life, not someone else's. Always remember that. Be smart, make some great decisions, and stay locked in, and keep your butt in the gym. That's the fitness tip for today.
Keep your butt in the
gym. That too.
Keep it all in the gym, Marty. Just keep it all in the gym. Whatever it is, your foot, your butt, your
Get your whole body in there.
Marty, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate everything you bring to the show. You have an awesome day, brother.
Of course, man. Appreciate you. I'll see y'all
Have
tomorrow,
a good look,
man.
my brother.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. All right, Marty's getting out of here. Good morning, Clody. Good to see you, pal. Good morning, man. Great to be with you as always. We also got Johnny. We got Lady Drew coming back with always enjoy life, never give up, and never allow religions and society to run you. Do what you want to do legally. Yeah, that's Lady Drew's comments there. And we got Adam Howard with the comment that says, I work for the railroad. Most of us don't retire, Johnny. Once we have our time, we collect our pension, we go to work for another railroad company. Experience and work ethic can take you anywhere. Very, very true. And then Benzie comes in with, I just turned 60 and I'm looking for a change. First 2 changes I made was in the lab and John's workout and meal plan. That's it, brother. And Benzie coming back with a good time. Hey, Benzie, I can see you, man. You're working your life into a positive direction, and not saying it wasn't a good direction, but I can see all the changes you're making, and it's good to have you here on the good to have you here on the show here, pal. And I'm hoping that you get moving here really soon. Johnny, I got a conversation to throw in here at the table. That's
real quick, Benzie, if you're listening, text me, brother. I got something else for you because that's
nice.
What I gave you is going to come to an end. I'm gonna string that forward for you. So
beautiful. Benzie, send Johnny a note here. He wants to connect with you here. So guys, I got a topic for us to get into that might be helpful for some of you guys here today, which is about speaking up and leading in powerful ways to redirect any meeting, but more importantly, powerful ways to redirect any conversation. And I want to throw that up here. What we do is we converse for a living here on the show. I talk, Johnny talks, Marty talks, and but I would say to that, have any of you been in a meeting or a conversation that goes completely off track? And then you wonder and you say to yourself, how did you end up here? So I want to throw some strategies on the table that will allow you to gracefully steer any conversation back on course without alienating your team, your family, friends, and so forth. Because, Johnny, effective conversation redirection not only saves valuable time, but ensures everyone's contributions feel respected and heard. And, mastering these techniques I want to throw on the table, I think will significantly enhance leadership skills and boost productivity. So guys, let's get into it. When you're getting into a conversation with somebody, one of the things that you might want to do to help yourself move the conversation forward is asking guiding questions, right? So Jon, I know you do it often with your clients, but it's asking intentional, goal-focused questions like, how does this align with your goals? Or somebody says, hey, Johnny, I want to lose 30 pounds here today. I know you're not going to quickly say, okay, Keith, here's your plan. I know you're immediately going to follow back with a goal-focused question. Talk about the idea, because I know you're really good at it too, using guiding questions when you're talking with your clients.
Well, I mean, ultimately what it comes down to, I think if you're an expert in your field,
yes,
in many cases, what you're doing is you're helping someone start there. You're leading the conversation in the direction of helping them reach their potential.
Yes.
And
yes.
In many cases, excuse me, brother. In many cases, they're distracted. They're seeing, one of the stepping stones that's leading to the potential, and that's what they're focused on. And so rather than getting focus is like, it's a superpower. You focus on the wrong shit, you get the wrong shit.
Yeah, it's so
and
true.
So, and when it comes down to it, those conversations, in many cases, is leading the conversation to help them see what they should be seeing because they're looking at the wrong stuff.
Yes. And when you're sitting down with somebody, guys, or having a conversation with somebody, or in a meeting, one of the things that I will often do, and you'll see me here doing it on the show, is reminding your conversationalists of the limited time that you may have, right? Which allows you to perhaps create urgency or mutual accountability, right? Often we find ourselves saying, I don't have time. I don't have time to get a workout in, or I don't have time to go for a walk, or I don't have time to do this. Well, what you might want to do is when you're going to a conversation with somebody or a meeting with somebody, creating awareness around the time and creating respect around somebody's time. So Keith and Johnny
both don't have problems with time. They have a problem with priorities.
Precisely. Right.
Because the shit that you're doing, that's you somehow, your priority is keeping you doing stuff that's not bringing value to you or the ones you love. Get rid of that stuff. You got the time you need. And when you invest your time that you've been wasting into something that's productive for you and the ones you love, your life starts fucking changing pretty goddamn fast.
Yes. So when you're going into a meeting with somebody or conversation with somebody, highlighting that time constraint is not only respectful of somebody else's time, but it's also yours. But what it's also going to do too is it's going to keep the priorities in check. Or because somebody's always going to, for the most part, somebody's always going to fall back to just let's just have a chit chat. Well, that chit chat's going to add up to not getting shit done. Right. So there is literally finite amount of time in a day. There's not infinite time. There's finite amount of time. So if you're not going to highlight time constraints, you're not going to achieve the goals you want to achieve in life. Another thing, guys, is bridging tangents effectively. We all like to go on tangents, whether we're sitting down with the client, going into a meeting, having a conversation with a friend or a family. What I would advise you want to do is finding ways to connect those tangents back to the primary objective.
Yes, the tangent has to reveal some value of some lesson, because then at that point that's why, telling a story, making a comparison.
Yes.
These are the things that because here's the thing. Excuse me, brother. People remember stories. They remember emotions.
Yes.
And when you can create an emotion with a story around a certain topic or thing or whatever it is, it's highly, highly valuable to the person that you're talking to. So in essence, you're bringing value to them with the tangent. And if you can do that, it's a different type of conversation.
It really is. And when you allow somebody to go onto a tangent and you can effectively bring them back to the primary goal, in my experience, you have them hooked. Because here's what's happened, Johnny. Again, role play with me. I let Jon do a tangent. Jon sees me leaning in. Jon hears me listening to him. Jon sees me actively listening to him. Well, Jon now going, okay, well, this guy's fucking listening to me. This guy's really leaning into what I'm having to say because I'm letting him do his tangent. But as Johnny's, and you guys, if you guys listen clearly to especially the way that I host, I'll often let folks do it, but I'll bring it back to the primary objective. And you've done what you've done. You've done two things. You've made that person feel really good. Their ego's feeling good because John's like, oh yeah, this guy let me go on my tangent. And then I bring him back to the primary goal. Again, I want to lose. And John's like, holy shit, he let me do his tangent. Plus he brought it back. Now John's feeling good about himself. His ego's feeling good. He's felt heard. But yet we've went towards the main objective of our conversation. So good conversationalists will allow the other person to do the tangent, but always bring it back. You hear it with me and Johnny often too. I'll use words like hate, or I'll kind of go off on a rant. And Johnny will have some fun with me, but he'll always bring it back to the main point. That's a skill that people struggle with often, right? Let somebody tangent, because when you let them do that, you're listening to them. But if you can effectively bring them back to the core, I guarantee you tangents happen in Johnny's world all the time. I need to lose weight. I'm feeling fat. Blah, blah, blah. He listens, he observes, and it's okay. But what's really the goal? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
let somebody tangent all they want. Johnny.
I always make the joke. Well, I mean, it's the truth, but I mean, I kind of do a joke. Man, look, you don't have a problem with being overweight. Your problem is not that you're fat. Your problem is that your mindset is allowing this to happen in your life.
Yes. Yes.
And it's like, when when someone goes off on a blah, 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 they're focused on the wrong shit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They're talking about, oh, well, I'm just not motivated to go to the gym. I'm not, I can't do this. I can't do that. Well, no shit. It's because your mindset's all fucked up.
Yep.
Fix that. All this stuff falls into place.
Yep. And we got a good time coming in with these boys. Got me healthy. Blood work came back good, and I'm free. And I'm at 145.8 pounds. Doctor said, what are you doing? He said, I told the doctor about the show. Mornings in the lab with Keith and friends. Those are my words at the end. Good job. Good time. Thanks for pushing the show for us here. Hey, Johnny, you're going to love this, man. I was doing some work over the weekend on our show here. And you know that Nike doesn't sell shoes. Nike sells inspiration, right? We know that McDonald's doesn't sell burgers. They sell, I don't know what the hell they sell, but
happiness.
Yeah, they sell happiness. Guys, what we sell on our show is momentum. Think about that. We encourage you, we invite you to get up and create momentum in your life. It's a feeling of momentum. And like John said, you're not fat. You're just not creating the momentum in your life to help you create good decisions.
You know what else we're selling, brother? We're selling change.
Yes. And you have to look no further than Good Time. Good Time's getting up with us. Ben's is getting up with us, starting the day. Holroyd's getting up with us, starting the day. Matthew Roof's getting up, starting their day. They're starting the day because where does change start? When you first thing in the morning. Get your day started, right? So, guys, keeping our conversation going. Leveraging the parking lot technique, guys. When you're going to meetings or conversations with folks, don't be afraid to visually capture something and put it on the table for later, right? Because again, what you've done is you've listened to the person. Again, role play Keith and Johnny. Keith and Johnny are talking. John's like, hey, I really want to talk about this thing happening over here. I want to talk about my Cinco de Mayo. Okay, John, let's stay focused on this. I know you came in to talk to me about a weight loss journey right now, but I know you want to talk about this. A really good technique is to visibly say to somebody, I heard you. Let's put it over here. Let's come back to it. Trust me, it works all the time. I do it frequently. I'm listening to. I put that topic over here. We come back to it. Again, what you've done is I've heard you, I've acknowledged you, and I've said, yeah, we're going to come back to it. Get good at that, man. You're going to have somebody eating out of your hands. Johnny.
Another thing too is, I don't know if this is coming, but when you frame a conversation right at the jump, like, hey, Keith, I got 30 minutes. Let's get into it.
Yes.
Because then when it goes off, you start talking about the Jets, and I'm like, this motherfucker's doing this again in my head. I'm thinking, Keith, hey, I got 30 minutes.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, God, I'll talk about the Jets another time when you're not limited on time.
Yes.
Did you like my joke about talking about the Jets? Come on, that's it. That's one of your tangents.
I'm laughing because did you not see my fucking notes? Reframing off-topic contributions is my next topic on my list here.
Oh, no shit.
Absolutely. So transform discussions into future opportunities. So Johnny, I want to talk about this. No, Keith, we're here to talk about your weight loss journey right now. I got 30 minutes to talk about this. I hear you. I know you love your Jets. Let's get to that a little bit later this week. Okay, great. Right. So don't be afraid to
One more caveat to this to really make the person feel good, because you don't want them to feel like you're being just, hey, I got 30 minutes and you're done.
Exactly.
Hey, Keith, I got 30 minutes to talk about this. If for some reason we have to reschedule another time, we'll do it. But let's stay focused so we can get this done today, because it's going to be better for you if we can nail this down right now.
Yes, exactly.
So they know that if something, because, oh my God, he's only got 30 minutes, he's not really going to hear me all the way. That's gone now.
100%. Yes. So again, set the tone at the beginning of the meeting, guys. Clearly state, visibly post the meeting's agenda, maintaining focus, allow the off-topic contributions to be out there, but knowing that we only have a certain time. And guys, introducing that parking lot. You introduce that parking lot. And here's the nice thing I like about the parking lot idea too, Johnny, because I use it all the time. The parking lot is a great reason to do a follow-up. Back to the Jets conversation. Hey, Keith, I only got 30 minutes today. I'm going to drop you a note later today to hear what you have to say about the Jets. Maybe we can grab 5 minutes later today, right? So don't be afraid to use the parking lot, guys. Think about the last meeting you attended. Did you redirect the conversation effectively? Did you let your valuable time slip away? I'm just giving you guys some tips as you go throughout your day, guys, to make changes, right? Time is not finite. Time is not infinite. Time is finite. So using some of these strategies will help you achieve those big goals, help you keep your conversations conversational, and help you keep your friends and family members around you. Is how we're going to get after it here. So listen, Matthew Roof, yes, Benzie, get out. I never see you too late. You can always grow. We got a good time now. I want to add pocket meat to my diet. And Benzie, for everyone who's listening and wanted to change, go ahead and change. I was on a heart rate monitor for 30 days. Start the day and make the change. You know what I like about this too, Johnny, is Benzie didn't wait for the magical someday or one day. He didn't wait for someday I'm going to do this, or one day I'm going to do this. Benzie made
he made the choice, right?
Yep.
He got the proper information. I gave him the proper information.
Yes.
And it completely fucking transformed him. Now, making the choice and doing the same dumb shit you've done in the past probably is not going to lead you where you want to go. Just remember that.
True story. All right, listen, let's do the lifestyle tip with Jon Andersen. We're going to come back. And I got a couple things thrown on the table here. Beer and the science behind the perfect hug. How long is it? Johnny, let's do it, brother.
All right. We're going to kind of go back what we were talking about a little bit ago about the whole idea of maybe you're not happy with what you're doing and you're wanting to make a shift. You want to change what you do. Call it career, call it make money, call it what you want. Well, first thing you got to recognize is how you perceive time. If you find yourself saying, I'm too busy, you've got a mindset problem. Average people say, I'm too busy. People that are making changes in their lives, elite people, they find the time. Now, where are they finding the time? They're not taking it away from the time watching Little League or ballet practice or even date night. They're taking it away from the dumb shit that doesn't serve themselves or the ones they love. What is that time? Who knows? Fuck, maybe you like to watch some brainless TV. Maybe you like to, on your lunch break, go get your food. I call it fetch your food. Well, kill that hour of TV. Kill that idea that you're going to go and get in your car and go drive somewhere to, God knows if you're going to get a Big Mac, shame on you, for Christ's sake. But point of being is just a little bit of TV and just managing your lunch hour better. These two elements could be all you need, an hour or two per day invested in yourself, into your side hustle. And before you know it, your side hustle has overcome this job that you don't want to go to, and you've changed your life. But it all starts with asking yourself the question, what are you saying to yourself about time? Are you too busy? If that's what you're saying, I think not. Rock and roll.
Track of time. Time will set you one way or the other. You're hanging out with Keith and John here, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends, the only morning show to help you guys get your ass going in the morning. 8 o'clock Eastern Time, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. I see your Roof. Good comments here, brother. Lady Drew, I wish you all a wonderful and successful week. Yes. Hey, have you ever...
Hey, brother, before we transition, I just want to tell you ahead of time, tomorrow I'm going to have to go at like 5:30 because we're actually traveling. So I just want to, because I know usually Mark gets out of here about 5:30. I got to do the same thing. So if you're going to hold it down for the last hour by yourself, I want to tell you ahead of time.
I appreciate it, pal. I appreciate it. I think we got some guests tomorrow. I think we'll be in good shape. I appreciate that, my friend. I appreciate that. All right, hey, listen, I know you're a hugger. So I got something to throw on the table here. Have you ever wondered just how long a hug should really last? Well, today we're going to
know exactly how it should last. At 6 seconds or longer, the brain starts releasing the fucking love chemicals that makes a person feel very, very good.
I love it. So today we're diving into the science behind, good time. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Good time bought into our membership package there. Was it $1.99? I appreciate that. Good time. I appreciate that so much. I got to run a little bit of a sound effect here. Let me see. What sound effect can I launch there? There we go. Yes. Beautiful. 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 Listen, today we're going to dive into the science behind the optimal hug duration. Plus, John, there's some surprising controversy. I know you've been here as well. A 3-minute hug limit implemented at an airport in New Zealand. And why
do you say 3 minutes? Like you can't hug more than 3 minutes? That's a hell of a hug. Is there some dry humping going on in that hug?
Why does this matter? Because understand the science of hugging can genuinely enhance emotional health, reduce stress, improve social connections in meaningful, measurable ways. John, research shows that hugs lasting between 5 to 10 seconds are sufficient, you said 6, to trigger a significant...
I always do one more. I knew it was 5, but I do one more of everything.
Yeah, so they are, so research shows that hugs lasting 5 to 10 seconds are sufficient to trigger a significant spike in oxytocin, often called the love hormone. The hormone boosts mood, reduces stress, and strengthens feelings of social connections. For an even greater benefit, a 20-second hug can stimulate the release of both oxytocin and serotonin, enhancing emotional and physical well-being. Now, get this. Contrast this with Dunedin Airport's controversial 3-minute hugging policy designed to manage.
I want to know why it's an airport policy. What's going on in this airport?
Well, I don't know. So apparently they've said that you can't hug for more than 3 minutes at the airport here. They've said 3 minutes is the max that you can hug at because what's happening is that if people are hugging for longer than 3 minutes, is that it's bunging up all the traffic in the airport. So they said that you can't hug for longer than 3 minutes. But here's what you can do today. If you're looking for happiness, aim for intentional hugs lasting at least 10 seconds. If you really want to feel ambitious, stretch it out to 20 seconds for that maximum emotional and physical benefits.
Check this out. One of the things when you give someone a hug, there's so many different variances of hugs. There's the people that kind of keep you away and they just have to like this, it's like they're just so uncomfortable with that.
I do know that hug. Yes.
Yeah. So I just call that out. I say, look, I just pull them in, say, give me a squeeze, But when you squeeze, you hold someone tight.
Yes.
You can feel, because at first they feel it, then they squeeze, and then because it's like it's kind of like you get what you give. It's almost like a human reaction, right?
Yeah.
They're not used to it lasting long, so you feel them let go, but you're still squeezing, and then they'll squeeze back again, right? And it's really interesting to just see how people react to this stuff. Like Terry's brother, perfect example, was not a hugger, right? And she even told me, he doesn't like touch. I said, well, we're gonna have to fix that. And so I would see him, and I would be like, he would walk in, and I would just arms open, like, come here.
Yeah.
And he would come and reluctantly give me a hug, and he'd leave one arm down to his side. And so I'd be hugging him. I'd lean his ear. I'd say, I'm not letting go till I get the other arm. And so basically we just little by little, we kind of worked through whatever it was that made him feel uncomfortable with hugging. Yeah. Because it was like, he started, I think what it came down to it, I think he started to actually feel what was going on with the brain chemistry we're talking about.
Yeah. Well, we got Clody coming in with Johnny. You'll appreciate this one. Here's a comment for you, Johnny. Clody could use a 3-minute hug right now because his wife's out of town. Well, Rick Clody, we probably think you can use many things right now with the wife being out of town here, my brother. And then we got Good Time coming in with, and I can relate to this one, Good Time. I'm sure Johnny can as well. When I was a teenager, anything more than 6 seconds could be a problem. Yes, the closer one got to the other young lady when you're hugging, it could absolutely be a problem. And then
you had a full blown stiffy at about 3 seconds.
Well, and then and then we all grew up in the Led Zeppelin "Stairway to Heaven" era of 13-minute song. That the moment you're, you get that song on and you're hugging somebody, and next thing you know, you're having to move away from the person you're hugging. And then Clody, some people grow up in hugging families. Like mine, some don't, and regardless of your upbringing, it works. And I agree. Regardless if you're not in a hugging family or not, you hug somebody who's not from a hugging family, and you surprise them with the oxytocin release. Like, oh, that actually felt pretty good, just like your brother-in-law, Johnny.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing, one of the things that I'm so big on with my coaching and my teaching is it's when you understand how to manipulate your brain chemicals. Yes. You change your fucking reality.
Yes.
You literally do.
Yes.
Because when you're constantly triggering stress hormones, you have a different series of decisions that you make based upon you being stressed or having anxiety versus when you don't have that and you actually feel love, you feel abundant. I hate to use the word abundant because people sometimes don't understand that, but call it a winning mindset.
You what? You hate?
Very good. Thank you, brother. I catch me. Well, because I should say using that term in a phrase that I've used, like I say, if I say the hate of that is the fact that people don't understand it.
Yes.
Yes. So, but thank you for catching me, brother. But when it comes down to it, it's so people understand a winning or a losing mindset. When you have a losing mindset, you don't believe you can do it. You don't believe, it's a different thought process, different decision making versus when you're on the other side, you've controlled your thoughts. You've got those good chemicals. You've got that winning mindset. You believe you have a different series of decisions you're making, which changes your reality.
Yes. Yes.
And if people would understand that it all comes down to it, you hear people say you control your thoughts, you change your life. And people are like, oh, that's Gandhi shit. Well, think again.
You said something which you say, Holroyd's right. I caught the brother, man. I saw the word floating out there. I had to grab it and throw it on the table.
That was good. That was good, brother. And that's symptomatic of I had a rough fucking morning. You know what I mean? And that probably was lingering in because I was digging to get that shit out of me today.
You said something a few moments ago, and I want to dig into this conversation this week or next, but I've been reading, and I'm suspecting you're going to know what I'm talking about next because you play it. You're a chess player, which means that and you're a philosophy guy, which means that you must spend time in your life reading about, understanding, or studying the theory of the mind.
The theory of the mind.
Yeah, which many. So again, you probably know about it. You just haven't spent some time talking about it. It's a psychological term with
okay. when you say theory, I guess I was just looking at that word incorrectly, but 100%.
Knowing how I'm thinking, manipulating how I'm thinking, saying certain things, and it's and great chess players, we're great, but people that are trying to influence power are using tactics from theory of mind because, I can guarantee Putin and Trump and big, massive global players use those theories because when you want to get something what you want, it's all psychological things along the way, but it's rooted in,
brother, when it comes down to it, it's, if you look at our society, pretty much everywhere, you keep people scared, you keep them controlled real easily.
Exactly correct.
Because their decision-making is running for safety.
Yes.
And it's very easy to contain someone when they're scared because you offer them a little safety and they will do whatever you want them to do.
Ooh, that's a conversation for
So unfortunately, that's a huge part of our world that we live in.
Yep.
And it kind of goes back to break the rules, not the laws. Well, if you're following the rules, you're going to fall into the trap of being freaked out and scared by what's happening by the powers that be, if you will.
Yes. Hey, you're hanging out with Keith and John, resetting hour 2 of Mornings and Alive with Keith and Friends. John, you want to segue for a quick break here, brother?
Yeah, give me a piss.
All right, John is going for a piss. I'm going to reset hour 2. Jimmy, hour 2 of Mornings Live with Keith and Friends. We got Justin Ahrens in the green room joining us in a few moments here today. We got Romina Maesa joining us at the bottom of the hour in the Community Corner Creator Spotlight. Resetting. We started the show off, guys, with the biggest news of the day, especially if you're an NHL hockey fan, especially if you're here in Winnipeg. Oh, yeah. The boys dug it out with 1.6 seconds left in the game, tied up the game, go to overtime, double overtime. Adam Lowry, the captain, Mr. Captain, wins the game. Winnipeg's heading to round 2 against the Dallas Stars Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Central Time. Jimmy, Uncle Keith's not going to that game, I don't suspect, because that's actually the game starting at my bedtime. So I will be watching the game, but probably not at the game. I'll hit the one later on in the week. So we're excited to have the Jets head into round 2 of the playoffs. We also cocked into the conversation this morning around what else we get into, Jimmy, this morning. We also talked about height. Dating apps women are using dating apps and ChatGPT to expose the height of men before they're dating them. And we got into conversation about men that are feeling insecure about their height because, well, people are being judged. And then we got into the conversation of, well, maybe we need to accept who we are instead of who we want to be. We talked about the science of the perfect hug as we wrapped up hour 1. How long is it? Is it 3 minutes? We talked about, is it 6 seconds? Actually, it's 5 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds. If you really want to get some good oxytocin rolling into your body, embrace somebody for a good 10 seconds. We talked about career changes as well, Jimmy. The risk that you're going to feel when you're like, oh my God, I got to do a career change. What do I want to do? Well, get after it. I see your comments, Roof. Stick around, Romina Maesa. Yes, Romina's joining us here pretty soon. She's pretty freaking cool. A great story of a person overcoming adversity, making her own life. And I'm seeing some of Romina's content on LinkedIn. Certainly enjoy that. Jimmy will bring in Justin Ahrens here in a couple of minutes. Johnny, I got something here. Those athletes more than ever are turning to beer for optimal hydration. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago where athletes are using beer for a protein beer, but there's some new additional beer hitting the market, which is isotonic non-alcoholic beer, which is hydration and inflammation management are crucial for recovery. There's some research showing that isotonic polyphenol-rich non-alcoholic beers can not only hydrate effectively, but significantly reduce inflammation, helping athletes bounce back quicker. Recent studies confirm that isotonic beers are as effective as water, providing a polyethanol boost.
Hear the wording, as effective.
Yeah.
Okay. Water is not a super hydration by itself. So you're saying we've got all of this effort and it's as effective, which is at best. So again, I don't know anything about this, but I'll say this. I think it's another fucking shiny object. But more importantly, with testing, when you test it, you can pretty much prove anything you want through a test if you want to try to sell it.
Yes.
So I think just the word, I think the words, just the way they describe it, if that's their words, as effective. Okay. I want to hear this is like turbocharged water, turbo, blah, 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 blah. So I think that's just my first gut.
Yeah, no, 100%. And apparently this isotonic beer lowers inflammation markers by an impressive 20%. And these isotonic beers enhance immune function and circulation.
So does water.
I know.
All they're doing is repeating the shit that water does.
So what I love about when I love bringing these things up, because what it always does for me, and again, what I'm finding with this show is that because I'm always looking for things to talk about, is that it perpetuates what we know about the wellness and health and fitness industry, is that there's always a shiny object coming the next day. Because in 2 weeks from now, there's going to be another shiny object about another beer that does this. But
when it's every industry, industry.
What it doesn't teach us is what we do here in the show is getting up and doing things consistently and habitually with rigor and routine. So, regardless if you're choosing an isotonic beer or choosing a water or choosing a Coca-Cola or choosing to eat Big Macs, if you're doing things not with routine and intention, it doesn't matter what you do, you're not going to have success. You got to find what works best for you and then do it consistently.
And here's one of the things that I recommend. And for those of you on a budget, it's fucking perfect. So Celtic salt is like 80 some minerals. and 86, right? Salt is one of them.
Yeah.
Right? So when you take Celtic salt and put it in water, it becomes like a hydrating formula, so to speak. And I do that all the time. Works like a charm. But more importantly, if people are having trouble with buying all these expensive hydrating formulas, now you don't have to do it.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Some of the basic stuff, you guys, it's in your closet, it's in your cupboard, it's in the kitchen store. You know, I don't know if we need to be always racing to go buy all the crazy shiny objects. And listen, as long as this show is alive, I'm going to keep presenting the shiny objects, but we're always going to present you as the basics of getting up, not hitting the snooze button, finding what works for you, and staying at it consistently.
Well, it's perfect, brother. You find the shiny objects, and then we have a conversation if that's something that people should invest their energy into.
Basics, man. Get your sleep, get your hydration, don't hit the snooze button, do all the regular things, and you know, you're not going to have to chase the shiny objects. Johnny, what if I told you today's guest believes creativity could save the world? Yeah, or at least your business from mediocrity. You know how you and I feel about mediocrity. And spoiler alert, this guy's right, and he's proving it one impactful brand at a time. Good morning, everybody. You're hanging out with Keith Bellis and Jon Andersen here, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. And today, we're hanging out with Justin Ahrens. Johnny, he's a chief creative officer at Rule 29, a guy who literally wrote the book on kerning your life. Whether it's building wells in Africa or helping Fortune 500 companies find their authentic voice, Justin believes creativity is more than pretty logos. It's a strategic problem solving that changes lives. Get ready for insights, inspiration, and a few laughs, especially about his new podcast adventure, Running Errands with his wife. Running Errands, there you go. Jimmy, let's do it, man. Let's bring in our guest for the hour here. I'm sorry, for the second hour here. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends is ridiculously excited to introduce you to our friend, Justin Ahrens. What's going on, Justin?
Oh, I love it. Good morning, fellas. How are you?
Pal, I got you muted on the vertical.
Oh, okay. Damn it.
Well, while he's unmuting, I just got to say, I love this concept because if someone lives in a state of being creative, they're a much happier person.
I agree. Yeah. What's going on, Justin?
Good morning, fellas. How are we doing today?
Fantastic.
What's up, brother?
Where are you joining us from today?
Just outside Chicago and the worldwide headquarters of my home studio.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Thanks for hanging out with us. Are you a hockey fan, by the way, first of all?
Kind of.
So of course you know that my Winnipeg Jets won last night and we're heading down.
I know. Yeah. But I watched the Dallas game. That game was amazing.
That was an awesome game as well. Yes. So joining us just outside of Chicago. You're a creative guy. You got a brand new podcast called Running Errands with Your Wife. This is which is a fun thing. We'd like to kick our conversations off around routines. Enlighten John, myself, and our audience. What is Justin Ahrens' morning routine?
All right, so it's 4 days a week, gym, coffee, nice. And then I have a daily routine with my wife where we sit at the kitchen table. You can't talk for about a half hour. We read a couple things, and we come together and you know, look at our day, debate something. We're big in reading about philosophy, stoicism, all that kind of stuff. And then
stoicism is powerful stuff, brother.
Yeah. And then there's someone else we're reading right now called Anthony DeMello. He's sort of like this great sort of mystic, and some of his stuff just scrambles my eggs, and I'm just like, I don't even know what that means. So it's great morning conversation.
So wait. So you and your wife sit back and you guys read together. You read books together. And then you talk about what you're reading.
Yeah, I mean, we don't read them to each other. We both have our own things, and then we'll come together. I'm like, hey, what do you think this means? And and she'll be like, what do you think that means? And it's a beautiful way to connect.
Oh yes.
And just kind of see where we're trying to just explore different parts of thinking and life and energy and all that sort of thing.
Oh, dude, that's awesome, man. What a wonderful connection. With is that a daily routine you and your wife have?
Yeah, it's one of the silver linings from COVID. We started doing this.
Yeah, baby, yes.
Because that was a whole mess in the brain, and then it's funny if one of us tries to break the talk zone. I'm like, yeah. I'm not done reading. I did this the other day, and she's like, "Excuse me, I still have like 10 minutes." It was awesome.
That's awesome.
I love it. I love it.
You're a man of creativity, which I really love. I'm a creative guy. John is a creative guy. You said that creativity isn't decoration, it's strategy. Can you share an example of a project you've worked on where creative strategy directly led to unexpected success?
Yeah, I think one of the things that people look at, on the outside of the industry, but even those inside the sort of brand creative industry, is they, think about the aesthetics and the strategy and how can they make and help companies do well, which is great. But until you do a project that actually impacts a human condition or, really kind of impacts something environmental or sustainable, then I think you're missing out on the power of what we can do as creativity. So think about it, everything from the design of a voting ballot, right, which can impact outcomes of elections, to, doing the kind of work where you realize that if you raise awareness on a particular subject matter or give people access to information that they can participate in, you literally can create pathways for brand and creativity to change people's lives.
Yeah.
So, John, I think you'll appreciate this from a health standpoint. I wanted to get about 7 years ago, I wanted to really kind of start my life. My wife's a trainer. And we had this idea after leaving a trip we had to Africa, where I saw kids who had bikes could take 2 or 3 jerry cans at a time. So jerry cans of water weigh about 40 pounds.
Yeah.
So if you have these little kids and you have a bike, you could, obviously get more water. And so we decided to use our ability to tell story digitally, through social and web, and see if we could actually raise awareness of the World Water Project. So we decided to ride our bikes from Boston to Chicago.
Yes.
And
how many miles is that?
It's 1,237 miles. And we discovered if for $40 per mile, we could change one person's life in this area of Uganda. So because that wasn't hard enough, we decided, my partner and I, Brian McDonald, a great photographer, decided we're only going to drink water that we filtered at Open Resources, which was a nightmare for our crew. So we left Boston, and from Boston, Chicago, we only drank water we filtered from like streams, rivers, all these different kind of places.
Logistical challenge for sure, brother.
Yeah, it was awesome story. And the crew still talks about it today. But anyways, we're going to try to raise $40,000. We ended up raising $160,000 and rode Boston to Chicago. And we did this whole, sort of creative brand strategy called Wheels for Water. And then it was so successful, we did it for 5 more years and raised over $1 million for projects in Sub-Saharan Africa. So it was really an incredible moment. So if someone asked me, can creativity really change the world? I would say absolutely. That's one.
Oh yeah.
Morning, Amy. See you there in the comments. Thanks for hanging out this morning, Amy. You're hanging out with myself, Jon Andersen, and our guest, Justin Ahrens. Justin, you said a couple of things which really jump out at me. So I'm a big fan of moments behind a moment, and then how the decision arrives even behind that moment. So tell John and I and our audience how you arrived at that decision to do the bike ride. But more importantly, was it kind of like, yeah, we should do the bike ride? And then the night before, in the morning of that, holy fuck, we're actually doing this. That's kind of one of those, hey, look, Johnny, let's go do this. And then, oh, we're now doing this? Like, share with us.
That's the best way to do it, right?
I agree. So tell us, John, Justin, the behind the scenes of how it all came together.
Yeah, so basically we were rebranding a nonprofit that was doing this work in Africa. Yeah. And they wanted us to go see the work, which was brilliant. It broke my heart. Okay. I was sitting under that a tree. I actually have the picture, and I shot a picture of this young man on a bike with water. And I thought, how do I take this experience and turn it into something special, not only for me and my family? I'm a dad of 4 kids, but also for my team, right? And so we wanted to use and expand our ability to tell stories digitally. And so all these things started to come together. I also wasn't in really great shape. And so all these little ingredients came together at the perfect moment. And, I trained for about 8 months. I thought I was ready. Ignorance was bliss.
Yes.
Because I can tell you,
Brother, we're
and
never fucking ready. We're never ready.
No,
you know what I mean?
And I had a trainer, and we even had like an ex-Tour de France cyclist that found out about what we were doing, and he helped train us. And I'll tell you, after the first day, we rode 100 and some miles. I was sitting in the RV afterwards, thinking, I can't do this. I have 9. But you know what? Every day we got up, it was, one pedal stroke after another.
Yes.
And it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. And then we did it. The most intense one we did a 10-day relay from San Diego to South Carolina across the country. And that was gnarly and amazing. And it was great.
Good for you, Justin. That's awesome. Something else you said too, which really strikes me, which says a lot about, I suspect, your integrity and your character. You said while you were talking about the journey that it was important for you guys to filter the water and to drink the right. You did say that, did you not?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. What I find striking about that is that, Johnny, nobody would have noticed had you guys not taken the time to filter the water and take that extra step. But it was important as part of your entire journey that you replicated something that was the foundation of all this. And what I'm trying to say is that nobody would have fucking known anything had you guys went to the store, bought bottled water and fueled your journey. But you're like, no, we're going to add a layer of complexity to this because your crew's like, really, Ahrens, you want us to fucking filter water? Yeah, because it's important. Like that's a principled approach that it's easy to look over because you didn't have to. You know what I mean? But you did, and it was. Let
me share you. And let me share with you why.
Yeah.
So here I am. I have, I don't know, a $2,000 bike, right, and incredible like athletic gear, right. I mean, I'm beyond privileged. Helmet, crew, all that sort of thing, and we're like, this doesn't really feel like I am relating to the people we're trying to serve.
Oh, I love that.
100%.
So we wanted to bring that into the story and to bring other people into the story, right? Because here's the thing. I remember one morning we're outside and this guy had like a pond in his front yard. We were in the country somewhere in New York.
Yeah.
So it's 5 a.m. and we're sitting there with the pump, pumping water. And the dude's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And here's the beautiful thing, guys.
Yes.
We got to sit for 20 minutes and talk to him about the world water crisis.
Yeah.
And it was super awesome. And that happened time and time and time again. And it was great. Now, the crew didn't think it was great at times because there were some moments where we're just like, ooh, we better find some water here or we're in trouble. So yeah, it was a really beautiful part of the story to bring people in. And you're right. We could have not done, we didn't ever do it again because it was so challenging. But that's why we upped the physicality of the challenges to show like, hey, we don't have to do a relay over 10 days across the country, but what a heck of a great story to bring people into.
Well, but that's a striking part of the story for me because it would have been easy just to go buy your Gatorade and just do your thing. But you're like, no. And here's why it's important for us to get the water, right? Do it properly. Justin, you're passionate about storytelling. It's clear in your content. It's clear in your profile. It's one of the reasons why I knocked on your doors. Hey, why don't you come on the show with us? What's your favorite personal story that you share that always resonates with your audiences?
So I had a single mom. She had me in high school. I was one of those art kids, right? Like I would color on my papers. Like for a math test, I would have like, a 2, beaten up a 4 and hopefully it equaled 6, but not always.
Yeah.
And I was just a kid that didn't pay attention a lot in school. And it was just hard for me. So, we moved around a lot when I was a kid. And then I had a teacher, Mr. Horley. And one day he was walking by me in class. And we had a book report. And you had to get up. Everyone had to get up and like give a speech about the book report. And he came to me, held me after class. And I was like, oh, shit. What did I do now, right? And he goes, hey, I want you to do the book report next week. But instead of talking and just giving a report, could you draw it? And take us through your drawing. You guys, I ran home and I didn't realize that day I became a designer, but I also was seen. Now I was a total nerd. I read all those kind of, I was like Star Wars. I think I was reading a book about gnomes. You can make fun of me. That's fine. And I remember it came my turn to do the book report. I got up, I talked about gnome life or whatever. It was kind of crazy. And everything from school went on was great. I was part of like the honor guard or whatever else. So school became really important. Fast forward to I'm in my mid 40s. We're on a table with a bunch of dudes and we're just talking about people that impacted our life.
Yeah.
And they're just like, hey, anyone ever impacted you? And then I just remembered about this teacher, Mr. H. And so like, you should talk to him. And I was like, yeah, I'll contact him. Another year goes by, same group of guys. We had the same conversation. Like, why are you not talking to him? And I'll be honest with you, the reason I wasn't talking to him is I was terrified he was dead. I wanted the memory of him to like live in my mind. I didn't want it to be ruined. Anyway, so through the power of the internet, I end up finding him. I call him. It's actually his son. His son asked me who I am, helping dad out. I end up talking to dad. And I tell him, I said, Mr. H, you don't realize, but at the time, my mom is remarried. It was an abusive relationship. It was not a great opportunity. It was not a great scenario for me. And I kind of have gone into myself. And if it wasn't for creativity and drawing, I don't know if I would have made it. But you saw me. You gave me a chance to walk in front of my class and do something that like empowered me. And I just said to him, thank you. And it got really quiet. And I realized he was crying. No one had ever said thank you to him. 2 weeks later, I come home. I collect posters, as you can see on my wall.
Yeah.
And there's a poster tube. And I open up the tube. Mr. H kept every one of my photos.
Oh, man.
Dude,
That's
goosebumps.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And
That's
then
cool.
2 years later, I go and I see him. He lives in Tucson. And he goes, let's do something we couldn't do when we were in school together. And I was like, what? And he's like, let's have a beer. So we cracked a beer and had a beer with Mr. H.
That's
Like,
fun.
Hey, that's an amazing story. And I'm glad I got to hear a little thing because Keith, I got to jump.
Yeah, I know, Johnny, you got to rock and roll here. So, Jimmy, we're going to walk Johnny out of here, and we're going to wrap up here in a couple minutes with Justin Ahrens. Romina, Maesa, I see you there in the green room. We're going to bring you here in a quick second. Johnny, have an awesome day, man. Great conversation today, brother.
Nice meeting you, Johnny.
Yeah, pleasure to meet you too, brother. Keep that creative stuff. Keep spreading that creativity because, I don't think people understand how fulfilling staying in a creative state can be.
Yeah, man.
Yes. All right, Johnny's out of you guys. We're going to keep the show rock and rolling here. I'm going to do rapid fire here with Justin Ahrens. Mornings in the lab with Keith and friends. Justin, Matthew Roof comes in with spectacular story. Justin, heartfelt, meaningful, creative, unique, and impact. Congrats. You are an uncommonly kind man. I'll tell you, Justin, I'm getting to know Matthew Roof. You want to talk about uncommonly kind man? You guys got to meet each other on the LinkedIn platform. Matthew was on the show a couple weeks ago. Solid, kind man as well. Justin, some rapid fire, brother. Favorite creative inspiration hack?
I actually love going to now I can't think of the platform all of a sudden. Pinterest. I go and I do. I create visual boards on Pinterest and find stuff there just for inspiration.
Jimmy, we've never had a guest throw Pinterest on the table this morning. Our first guest is throwing the very masculine Pinterest platform.
Very masculine.
And I'm all joking aside because we talk modern. We don't care what, I said with lacing full of sarcasm, of course.
Yeah, of course.
You guys all know, the lovely host here of the show here. We embrace all of that. Morning ritual you can't skip.
It's doing this deep reading about I have a couple books that are philosophy based or daily stoic books.
Yeah.
And I have to at least read one of them just to set my day, to set my mind to go forward.
I love it. And then of course you have a brand new morning ritual now you'll be introducing to your life, which is Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends, 8:00 Eastern time, right here on LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. You got to add that either before the book or after the book. You got to add that to the routine, Ahrens. Like there's no negotiating here, brother.
No, I'm with you. And you know what? I'm gonna blow it up on my social too. So thank you in advance.
There you go. Yes. And if you want to run an errand with your wife and you want Uncle Keith to join you with that errand, I'm always available to join you with the errand as well.
You will be on the show.
One creative trend you wish would disappear immediately. Billis, you got to get this creative trend. It's got to fucking leave. What is the creative trend that you wish would disappear immediately? Pinterest? I love Pinterest. I think it's again, it's I don't know if it's so much of a creative trend, but it's
it's the people, at least on social, that just kind of use creativity as sort of like mean girl type stuff, right? To bully people, or to do the kind of bullshit where you use something that's out there to shame someone.
No time for that. I got no time for that.
I just can't do it.
Yeah, you and me both. I'm all about kindness, like Matthew Roof. This show is all about we're all about leading with love here on this show. Design pet peeve from you, Justin Ahrens.
Terrible typography.
Oh, there's an interesting one, dude. You're fucking dropping nuggets left and right.
Yeah.
So
when I was dating my wife, we'd go to a restaurant and I would just get so upset at menus. She's like, "Can you calm down?" I'm like, "I don't know if I can eat here."
Honey, we're reading typography 303 today, and you guys understand. That's awesome, man. Jimmy, I've never met a typographist. We now have our created the word typography.
You cut out for a second. What did you say?
Is there a such thing? Is there a such thing as a typographist? Somebody who's actually they wake up and they live to be a typographer.
It's actually I don't think that's the technical term. They're like font makers. They design
font maker. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Font maker. That's like a cartographer. But
there is a typographer. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, closing, and this would be a good one for you, brother. A book that you always recommend.
There is a book called, I have it right here. It's called The Way to Love. Anthony, look how worn it is.
Yeah.
By Anthony DeMello. It's a book about just, how to unprogram ourselves based on all the stuff that we grew up with, all the bias and all the things that influence us that really kind of screw us up.
Dude, that might be worth unpacking in a future conversation, I'm suspecting.
I'm in.
Can I throw something on the table? So I'm 53. I'm suspecting you're what, 42, 43?
Oh, you're lovely. I'm 52, brother.
Oh, so same age. Okay, so I'm saying that because what I'm suspecting is the book you're talking about unpacks much of what you and I grew up with.
100%.
Ah, interesting. So then we definitely, Jimmy, we definitely got to have Ahrens back for a deeper conversation
and I've written all about it, so I'm ready.
Oh, I love it. Final question for you, pal. Romina, Maesa, I see you there in the green. We'll bring you up here in a minute. If your life's work could be summed up in one creatively designed billboard, Justin Ahrens, what would it say and why?
Well, if it was about me, I would say he was present and cared. If it was about my work, it would be he brought up others.
Well said. Well said. Man, what a pleasure I've had having you here in the lab here today. I know it's been brief. We got Ryan Salestad joining in here. Creativity can change workplace culture and makes better leaders. I agree. I think creativity is a superpower that much of us don't talk about. And I like what you said, Justin, is that you said something along the lines of too often creativity is used for mean girl stuff or for negative things, when creativity is a superpower when driven in the right direction, right?
Absolutely. Amen.
100%. Justin, where can folks connect with you, find you, and work with Justin Ahrens? And I'm looking forward to grabbing coffee with you later today. Where can Business Athlete Mornings Nation connect with you, brother?
You can find my company at roll20.com. And of course, I'm in LinkedIn, Justin Ahrens at LinkedIn and all the platforms. And of course, follow me. I'd love it. We have this new podcast. I have a new book I'm working on that we'll talk about in the future, Keith. So it's going to be some good stuff.
Yeah. Quick little plug on the podcast, brother. Where can they find it? What's it all about?
Yeah. Running Ahrens is a podcast about my wife. We've been married for 30 years. We talk about running a business together, raising 4 kids, and how we keep our marriage fresh and exciting and, still going.
Wow. That's awesome. 30 years. Congratulations. How old are your kids?
Thank you. They go from 25 to 19.
They go from 25 to
I have 4 of them. Yeah.
That's awesome. So I got something for you. You enjoy yourself today, my friend. I got Romina Maesa joining me here in the lab, and I'm looking forward to grabbing your coffee later today. Okay, Justin?
Sounds awesome. Thank you.
All right, pal. Thanks for hanging out with me today. All right, Jimmy, we're going to walk Justin off here. Guys, what if your AI marketing strategy actually cared about people? Yep. Today's guest is proving robots can have hearts. And she's not even kidding. We celebrated her last week. Was it Jimmy or the week before in the community corner? Yes, Amy Reinhardt. Romina Maesa's here in the lab. Hold the excitement, guys. I know Roof's excited. Amy Reinhardt. There's a whole crowd of people excited to join us here in the lab here today. Excited to have her as well. And I saw, so Romina dropped a post last week on LinkedIn, which I was quite struck about. I think she lost a contract, lost a job or something, and she was commenting on the whole situation. So I hope we'll have some time to talk about that here today. But Romina Maesa is a marketing strategist who insists that AI can be ethical, emotional, and yes, even empathetic. After nearly 20 years blending data-driven strategy with human storytelling, Romina is here to break down why marketing should build real relationships, not just chase clicks. And did I mention that yeah, Jimmy, get this. The kid, this kid wrote horoscopes. Yeah. So if you guys grew up reading horoscopes, we got the horoscope writer. Oh man, fuck. Stick around because your marketing future might depend on today's conversations with the horoscope writer herself. Jimmy, without further ado, we have, not only do we have a typographer on the show here earlier, we have now a horoscopographer. We got Romina Maesa. What's going on, Romina?
What's going on, Keith? All good.
Thanks for having me. I'm a Pisces. Tell me something that I should know today about myself, Romina Maesa. What should I know about myself?
Keith, I was in my early 20s and it was all fiction. I have zero astrology knowledge, nothing at all.
You went from writing horoscopes to predicting marketing trends with AI. You still occasionally tell clients their Mercury is in retrograde just to see their reaction, or what?
I know. Well, I switched, from looking at the stars to looking at the actual data and making some more real predictions now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Romina, we celebrated you here in the lab. I think it was last week in the Community Corner Creator Spotlight. I know you woke up and you're like, "Oh my God, there's some folks. There's some dude over there in some hat and a Jets jersey celebrating me here." I'm like, "Yeah, we're celebrating the great work you've done." But what struck me recently is you've shared a candid post about being fired from a part-time role where expectations weren't clear. What's your biggest lessons from that frustrating experience, Romina?
Wow. Other than I'm done with working for people, because that's about the biggest lesson I've learned, is that I'm ready to just go out on my own and just make my own work, because of it's a constant struggle. And I think it happens in marketing a lot. I'm not going to say more than in other fields, but there is such title confusion. And when you talk about social media management in general, people do seem to think we're a one-man show. And the problem are the super unrealistic expectations. My biggest learning was to did I not communicate enough earlier? Maybe, should I have just continued working and thinking that I'm doing well because I'm not receiving feedback for a month? I don't know. But the biggest learning there was that I think the safest path is the one you charge yourself.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So you're a social media manager, correct? Am I correct?
I'm a digital growth strategist.
Digital growth strategist. Okay, excellent. And AI has weaved its way into our world, especially on the social media side, the growth strategy side. But you say that AI without emotional intelligence just speeds up mediocrity.
100%.
What's the worst example of mediocre marketing that you've seen AI amplify?
When there is no authentic human voice behind the AI content, that's the worst for me. And so it's very easy to see a LinkedIn post from someone who had an original post, copy paste it into ChatGPT and tell it, write me a post about this. And ChatGPT will very successfully rewrite it in a way that sounds new, but there's nothing unique about it. There's nothing about you in it. And that way you end up with 25 posts about the same post. And there is nothing there. There is no innovation. There is no human thought. There is no insight. That's what I think makes AI dangerous when that starts happening.
So I know you're passionate about ethical AI.
Yeah.
When you're watching the world around you and you're watching AI unfold around us, what's one unethical AI practice that you wish that you could eliminate today?
One unethical AI practice right now, I would say anybody who is profiting out of using AI without disclosing that they're using AI, I consider that an ethical use. I think if you're trying to come off as human generated all the way, but you're using AI in the background and you're making money out of it, I think that's unethical. I can talk about marketers right now who would charge the same rate but use AI for the same time. I think that's an unethical use in my field. I think we need to really start thinking completely differently about how we charge for our own time. We shouldn't be charging for hours anymore. We should be charging for outcomes, because we all must admit, we must realize that our efficiency, our speed when using AI responsible is tenfold.
So I have a I don't know if it's a differing point of view on it or if it's just something for us to consider and talk about. So I think we're making too much of this. Let me explain. So I used a pencil and a paper to create today's show.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck cares? No, of course I didn't. I used AI. No, so here's my point, is that everybody's making, did you use AI or not? Well, fucking of course I did. It's 2025. Oh, did you use an encyclopedia? No, it's not 1980. Like, so I don't know if I agree with this ethical or unethical. I fucking expect you to be using AI. I expect you to be delivering me results that have AI inside of them. I don't expect you to be using an encyclopedia or marbles. No, I expect you to use a calculator. I expect you to use a computer. I expect you to use modern tools. I'm tired of fucking people saying, oh, I see there's a long dash in their paragraph because they're using AI. Well, fuck off. Of course I'm using AI. It's 2025.
You're preaching to the choir, Keith. I have said the same thing.
What I'm talking about is that, but I'm expecting results instead of fake vanity metrics. I'm expecting results instead of a bunch of fake time putting into things. I'm expecting results based on the fact that I know you can complete 30 posts in 10 minutes instead of 3 hours. I know you can create I know that you can do a PowerPoint in 1 hour instead of a whole week to do it. So I'm tired of the argument where people are like, is it AI or not? No, of fucking course it's AI because it's 2025. So I don't have time for the unethical or ethical discussion. I don't actually, and not from the where you're coming at it. I don't have time for the, is it ethical? Well, no, it's expected.
I think it's both. I think it's both expected, but should continue to be used responsibly. I think the moment we expect to use it, but don't use it responsibly is when we are going to lose the human connection with what we're outputting and what we're delivering to others.
Yes. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you there. Where I do get caught up is where people are still trying to bring us back to 3 years ago.
Right. No, like we're not going back to abacuses, right? We're not going back. We're not going back to. No, I agree. The technology is here and it's not going anywhere. We're far beyond the conversation of is AI going to take my job or is a person using AI going to replace me? 100%. That is all in the past.
Yeah, I agree with you. Hey, Romina, as a former journalist, and this is I'm a fan of journalism because I'm a curious soul. As a former journalist, what's one question that you constantly ask yourself or your clients to keep that storytelling authentic? I love that you're a storyteller. I love that you lean into authenticity. And as a former journalist, you weave it all together. But what's that one question that you're always asking yourself?
Why?
Oh.
Why am I sharing this story?
Love it. Yes. The curiosity, right?
Yeah, and it's choosing, right? I am a journalist and I lead with myself. Yes. I tell a lot of my own story, but why am I doing that, right? When I put it out in content, when I put my personal story of, getting fired or my story of autism on LinkedIn, why am I doing that? There's a reason that goes beyond just sharing my story. I think that's what I ask myself every time, and what I ask myself before interviewing someone else. Why am I asking them these questions and not others?
I love that you said that. I love that you've asked why, because I ask why all the time. I love the curiosity of it. But what you said is why you're here, frankly, too. And it's why we celebrated you in the community, and why Ryan Salestead celebrated you and why we brought you up. Because of your authenticity, because of your personal story. And you not only dropped that story last week about being fired, but you've talked about your autism diagnosis.
Yeah.
And why do you think that your autism diagnosis, and frankly, I'm so grateful that you've shared that. Why do you think that your autism diagnosis resonated so strongly with your community?
I mean, I was so great. It's hard to know why. I was so grateful and a little bit surprised to see exactly how positively it resonated.
Yeah.
But I think the reason it does is because we all are truly, we want real. I think we know that these conversations are important. We know that it's important to be who we are. I think we're all a little bit tired of pretending, and we welcome just stopping that, right? Like I dropped my mask fully because I kind of had to, but I think people react to that because of a personal connection, to the personal want to connect on a real level with other humans, to be real themselves and connect with others.
Yes. Good morning, Peaches. I see you there in the comments. Lady Drew, I see you there as well. And you're hanging out with myself and Romina Maesa here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. We're at the bottom of the second hour here, hanging out with Romina. And Amy Reinhardt, film video is further ahead with AI. It's art and innovation, but people are very sensitive about the written word. I agree with you, Amy. The reality is that the written word still contributes to the film and the video side of things. And, we got to keep having the conversation with humans about AI and how it's affecting all of us. Romina, your vulnerability on deciding to share your autism diagnosis. You may or may not know I'm a huge fan of the moment behind a moment. What prompted you to drop the veil, to say, you know what, I'm now going to share this with my community?
Yeah, it's funny. He was my therapist. My therapist was the final clue in me really unlocking, and it's been so life-changing for me to do that, right? But It was during a conversation with my therapist that we identified that was kind of the missing piece, right? I was really being authentic with my whole story in how I show up in public, with my personal brand, I guess I should say. Mm-hmm. But I was leaving a piece behind, and it's a piece that explains a lot of me, because my diagnosis also explains exactly how smart I am. Because I'm extremely smart, but I'm extremely smart because of it. And it was something that was also getting lost. So it wasn't only about something that makes me different. It's something that also makes me special. And why not talk about it? And I'm here building a brand and trying to differentiate myself. And this makes me extra cool. And so it was a conversation with my therapist where we talked about how maybe, that was the only thing holding me back. And then we realized that it happened to be April, and it happened to be Autism Awareness Month. And it was one of those, no time like the present kind of things. And I just did it.
Romina, you would not know this, but we kicked the show off today talking about how some insecure men are getting their legs extended, and how we as men go through life with our insecurities, and how I offered that perhaps an insecurity is a superpower that sometimes we don't know we have until we discover it. And the fact that you sat with your therapist and your therapist encouraged you to talk about your autism, I'm going to make some assumptions here that you had insecurities around that. And the fact that you revealed that to your community relates right back to how we started the show. You realized that insecurity of yours, that autism diagnosis, was a superpower, because you're like, I'm pretty fucking smart. You guys all don't know this. And here's why. And I love that, because you recognize it, you put it out there. And I'm going to ask you an obvious question, but I think everybody needs to hear it. How much regret did you have after you made that announcement?
0.
Boom.
Absolutely 0.
We celebrated Romina Maesa in the community corner to create a spotlight. And then as part of that, we asked Romina to take the light from me. And as you heard from her, 0 regret with sharing her insecurity. So I invite you guys, maybe as you're starting your day, you're having some insecurities, give me a call. Go talk to your therapist. Go knock on Romina's door. She might encourage you to bring out your insecurity. It might make you feel a little better. Romina gave me a name. We're going to celebrate right now. She talks about burnout, about pretending, about what it feels like to build a business that doesn't actually feel like yours. And then she shows you how to fix it. not with louder content or shinier branding, but by getting clear on who you are and how you want to show up. Because when you know that, Romina, everything else starts to make sense, right? Right? Because you've
Yep.
done it yourself. Right? The positioning,
100%.
the positioning, the visuals, the tone, the decisions. And there's one,
Everything falls into place.
yeah, there's one creator who helps people find that clarity and builds brands that feel as good as they look. And her name, I'm going to launch it here in a second, Jimmy. Her name, she runs the Copper Portico, where she brings strategy, design, and creative leadership. I love seeing Romina smile when I drop the name, because she knows the person doesn't know until they see this video after. And now, Romina, you see how we bring it all to life. We do the surprise. I know, right? I fucking love this, man, because it's just awesome, because we're like, oh my God, right? She runs the Copper Portico, where she brings strategy, design, and creative leadership to lifestyle and impact-driven brands that want to grow without losing themselves in the process. She doesn't teach templates. She leads with intention, and she makes space for beauty and honesty to coexist in business. This morning, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends is ridiculously excited to introduce you to, on behalf of Romina Maesa, Lillian Santini. Boom, boom, boom. Yes. Lillian is the kind of creator who reminds us that how you feel in your business is part of your brand. Romina, you nominated Lillian for this moment. Why are we celebrating her today?
We're celebrating Lillian today because she, like many of us today on this platform, are showing up with everything she knows and herself behind it. She is being authentic every day. She shows up as she is, and she knows what she's doing. She knows her stuff. So everybody, just check out Lillian. She really is one to recommend.
Awesome. Lillian, here's how it works. Romina, you tell her how this works. Romina, how does this work?
How does this work, Lillian? You are going to find out that you are going to go on the next segment of Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. You are going to get the opportunity to nominate someone that you want to celebrate, just like I am celebrating you. And in that way, we're going to keep paying it forward.
Oh, Romina, Jimmy, you don't got a job anymore, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Romina, take the show over. I fucking love this. Romina Maesa, you're awesome. Lillian Santina, Amy Reiner's coming in with some energy. Man, what a great fucking moment here with our creator spotlight this morning. This is a lot of fun. And Romina, I want to be respectful of your time. I know we're coming up to the top of the hour here. I do have another creator I want to celebrate, and I got a couple more questions for you. Do you have a few more minutes for me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Are you having fun yet?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, so Lillian, we want to have you in the lab. I don't got to repeat what she said. We'd love to have you on the show because we want to celebrate somebody and keep this thing paying it forward. All right, I'm going to come back to you, Romina, before we go to our next creator spotlight over on the LinkedIn platform. I'll get some rapid fires for you, Romina. AI, friend or frenemy?
Frenemy.
Favorite meme format?
Image.
Oh, morning routine, structured or chaotic?
Chaotically structured.
Who the fuck are you? One LinkedIn trend you secretly wish would die.
Oh, the action figures.
Oh, interesting. Best marketing buzzword, overused, but you still love it.
Snackable.
You're awesome, man. I love you. I love your energy. I just love it. We got Matthew Roof coming in with AI is an imperative tool, but you must bring your humanity. Just regurgitating what AI produces is going to be less effective. Use it for ideas and testing your approach. Absolutely. And Peaches, I see your comment there. Romina, we had a conversation with Peaches on Friday. We were talking about, well, here's the thing, Peaches. I'm sorry, here's the thing, Romina. Peaches' partner wants to have more sex with Peaches, and Peaches was able because Peaches has some health issues here. So we encourage her to have a conversation with her partner, and it might have involved doing some weight testing of Peaches' weight with her partner's face, but that's a whole conversation for another day. But Peaches just had to come in and say it was an amazing weekend. Convo was had and compromise has been made. Thanks for all the advice and different perspectives. Peaches, thanks for checking in with us today. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and we'll look forward to continuing to learn about your life expectancy work. Because Romina, just to let you know here, so we're big proponents of life expectancy work here in the lab because science tells us this. If men are having more sex, we're living longer. If women are having more sex, we're all living longer. So we encourage in the show life expectancy work from all the humans so that we all can have longer, healthier lives. And Peaches joined us on the show on Friday because there is some disconnect happening in her world. So we encourage that life expectancy work to keep it rolling here. Thanks for hanging out with us and joining the show here, Peaches. Okay, so Romina, let's do this. Let's go, Jimmy. Let's go to the next creator spotlight before we wrap up our segment with Romina. My co-host here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends are having a lot of fun here on the show here. So I'm going to introduce you to somebody, to Romina, who you're going to connect with here on the. Romina, do you do Substack, by the way?
Do I? I don't.
Are you familiar with Substack?
A little bit. I hear about it.
Yeah. So as a social media person, so we're going to grab coffee a little bit later today, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm going to tell you a little more about it because I think it's a great platform that I would encourage you to pay a little more attention to.
That'd be good.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, listen, you ever feel like you're making content for an audience that doesn't even exist? You're told to just post more, stay consistent, or feed the algorithm. Well, meanwhile, your best work gets buried under noise. Well, that's not growth, that's burnout. But what if there was a way out? What if there was a way to grow your work without sacrificing your time, your energy, or your sanity, to stop performing for algorithms and start connecting with real people again? Well, guys, that path exists. And there's somebody who we're going to celebrate today that's been quietly paving it for years. No shortcuts, no hacks, just substance, just strategy, and full-bred community. He runs weekly Zoom calls, Romina, that feel more like creative therapy than some salesy mastermind. He teaches creators how to build with intention and without begging for attention. And this dude walks the walk. This morning, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends is really excited to introduce all of you guys on the Substack side of things, our creator in the creator spotlight, Seth Werkheiser. He's the voice and he's the force behind the Social Media Escape Club on Substack, a home for anyone ready to stop chasing and start creating. And this isn't this guy's first rodeo either. Romina, this guy sent emails from Grammy Award-winning bands. He's launched blogs before it was cool. He ran 2,000 nights of heavy metal trivia, built indie projects from scratch, and has helped other artists do the same. Now, he's leading a quiet rebellion against the chaos of social media and giving creators their time, power, and focus back. We are proud to spotlight Seth this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. And Seth, here's how it works, my brother. We'd love to have you here on the show to celebrate somebody in your world on the Community Corner Creator Spotlight. Follow Seth, join the club, escape the trap. And Seth, come hang out with us here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends on the Community Corner Creator Spotlights. All right. Woo! You're hanging out with Keith Billis and Romina Maesa here on Mornings in the Lab. We're wrapping up here. Romina.
Yes.
If your life right now were an AI-generated meme, I'm going there with you. What would the caption be underneath that meme so we can make it? Yeah. What would it be?
This is fine.
Oh, yeah. This is fine. There we go. There we go. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh man, we got Matthew Roof coming with Lillian, my Fox twin. I love the way my network is taking care of each other. That is awesome. Romina, what do you got going on today? We're wrapping up, man. The show's almost over. What's going on today in your world?
What's going on today? More work, more content, and a couple of client meetings.
Nicely done. Where are you today? Well, I forgot to ask you, where are you joining me from today?
I am in Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Oh,
Nicely tropical.
Nicely done. Nicely done. I got to tell you,
Can't complain.
I've enjoyed the energy you brought to the show today, and I'm going to be really honest with you. I expected it. I'm just going to be fully frank with you. I see your content. I see the energy through your words. I love your content on LinkedIn. I love the energy.
Thank you.
I love how you present yourself. Very authentic, very, very, very energetic. So I'm not going to lie. I was expecting these last 30 minutes to be how they were. And I hope they were as much fun for you as they were for me.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, good times, good times. And I hope you'll tune in again. And I hope you'll come back and hang out with us again sometime.
I'd love to.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. All right, Jimmy, we're gonna walk Romina out of here. And Romina, I look forward to grabbing coffee later today as well. Okay.
Sounds good. See you later. Thanks again.
All right. You betcha. All right, Romina Maesa's out of here.
Bye.
Oh, hey, Jimmy, bring her back for a quick second.
Yeah.
I forgot one last thing. Duh, the host fucked up.
What did he do?
Where can everybody connect with you?
Oh, well, you can find me primarily on LinkedIn, just at Romina Maesa, and also at rominamaesa.com.
Yes, RominaMaesa.com, and come find her on LinkedIn, or come find me, or come find Amy Reinhardt or Matthew Roof. But that's where you can find Romina Maesa. You guys need a social media strategist. We clearly have found one. Romina, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks so much.
Take care. All right, out of here, guys. Jimmy, great show, man. Amy, I appreciate that. Great show. Yes, great show. Great guest. Justin Ahrens, Romina Maesa, Jon Andersen, myself, C. Marty Fit. Woo, a lot of you guys here today. Peaches, I love that one, man. The weight on the face is perfectly had. Yes. I think that's good. Jimmy, I think it's going to be a new offering here. Guess my weight. Yeah, it's going to be a game called Guess. You're going to ask your partner to guess my weight. We're not judging the weight. We're just guessing the weight. All right. Jimmy, I'm quiet because I'm looking for tomorrow's show. That's what I'm doing here. I'm going to set up tomorrow's show for all of us here tomorrow. Yep. What a big audience here today. All right, tomorrow we're going to get into a conversation of, tomorrow we're talking breath work. Yeah, breath work for stress. I do breath work. Yeah. Last night during the Jets game, I was fucking breathing up a storm. Woo, baby, I was breathing up a storm. All right. Well, my bladder is telling me the show's over. So, this sound effect's coming up. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Jimmy, are we done? Jimmy, are we done? I'm looking for Jimmy's comments here on the text. Did we hit it all? Did we hit all the marks? Yeah, we're done. We're all done, eh? Yeah, we're done. All right, well, listen, on behalf of myself, Keith Bellis. No, we'll start that way. On behalf of producer Jimmy, on behalf of producer Melissa, on behalf of Romina Maesa, Justin Ahrens, Amy Reinhardt, Rick Clody, Matthew Roof, Peaches. Good to see you, Peaches. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I always appreciate you, Peaches. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully in the show. Adam Holroyd, Lady Drew Boger, the whole crew. I love all of you guys. I appreciate all of you guys. We can't do this if you guys don't show up. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Scott Benzie, it was an awesome show as well, brother. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Go find our Substack, inside.baffle.ai. We'll see you guys, 8 o'clock tomorrow. See you guys. Bye. Ciao.